Kyle reviewed. Like and subscribe.
Hey guys, just finished watching Black Lightning, Season 3, Episode 8, The Book of Resistance, Chapter 3, The Battle of Franklin Terrace. This episode was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting. They spoiled a big part of it in the trailers and stuff. There at the end when we have one of the ASA guys reveal that he has powers and all that stuff. I can't think of the guy's name, or they have listed here on IMDb. Oh well, but I think it was, I forget his name, but when he was revealed that he had the same powers as Jefferson, and then he kind of ended climatically, just like, oh yeah, you don't have a suit on, that's why you kind of passed out, which is kind of silly. It's like, oh, that's it, that's all there was. So why put that in the trailer if that's, if that's such a interesting moment? I mean, I would have put, maybe if you want to put something to slightly put some speculation, maybe you put something that's just the eyes lighting up. That was an early clip that looked like it was before commercial break. That could have been something interesting. Just a very blink and you miss it, in that 20-second trailer they put out. But showing the two of them blasting each other, it was a really spoiler, and it took away the weight from this episode. Whereas just having the kind of the little reflection in the eyes type thing and a very blink and you miss it moment in a trailer could kind of set off some speculation. And there's only like a week in between episodes, but could set up some speculation as to, was that actually him using powers, or is it something like, Black Lightning doing something so big that, you're seeing the color, the light reflect in his eyes, right? But actually revealing in the trailer in there, we kind of took away the weight of the episode, and since it's only there for a little bit, it doesn't really change anything. If it had been a full long fight scene of the two of them using powers, it's going back and forth, and then Jefferson, outsmarts him and wins, that would have been okay, but it really was like a 10-second fight scene and it was gone, So it was just kind of disappointing that they spoiled that in this in the trailer for this episode, and it didn't really come by as surprising as whatsoever. The reveal was completely gone out the window. So that's disappointing. I would have liked to have seen some sort of Crisis tie-in, especially because we know that Crisis is happening. This episode is the last episode before Crisis. We do have one more episode after Crisis. We'll have first episode of Crisis will be on Supergirl this Sunday, and then we'll also have, which will be today actually, and then we'll have an episode on Monday, of Batwoman, which will be episode 2, and then right after Batwoman on Monday, the same day, we'll have another episode of Black Lightning, and then I think we don't get on the last episode of Black Lightning until like late in January, something like that. So it would have been interesting to see, to actually see, teasers for that, for him to get maybe picked out. Maybe we see him, maybe we see some teasers for that, something to show us him getting picked out and putting into there, rather than him just showing up in Crisis without knowing as to how. We're not going to get him leaving Crisis and appearing in Crisis until after everything. So you're supposed to watch, maybe we're supposed to watch all of, Black Lightning Season 3, and then watch Crisis, which, the ones who are watching it as it airs and stuff, it's going to be very difficult to do that with the last episode ending way after Crisis. So, it's going to be interesting to see where things go in the next episode. But if you're not watching it, and he appears in the first two episodes of Crisis, and he, then we're lost if you didn't know that what's going on. Yes, throughout the whole episode, you got the little ticker thing that kind of that showed a whole time, Crisis, Crisis, Crisis. But they didn't really kind of do a good enough job within the actual episode to show you that it's actually part of there. So if you're just watching this later on Netflix or anything like that, even on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, the episodes appear maybe a week later on there. They don't really do a good job with that to tell you, yeah, you need to go watch that because it's probably going to be very important for the next season of Black Lightning is the Crisis. So that was just kind of disappointing there. It was somewhat interesting dealing with the storyline of Jennifer and her friend there. I can't think of his name, but with the Brandon with the hair and stuff and the earth powers. So that was kind of interesting there. And it was nice seeing Black Lightning standing up for his community and kind of, saving the trying to decide to kind of stay with the resistance and stuff. So that'll be quite interesting to see as to where things go. But I'd like to see him to kind of lose it, because it seems like to me he's been pushed to this whole point where, it seems almost justifiable to kind of start, going further and pushing his limits. Maybe not to the point of killing someone, but kind of pretty damn close to it, I think it would be quite interesting to see him kind of get to that, push himself to that ledge, and then be able to kind of hold himself back. I think it would be kind of interesting to see how things kind of go. Because if now he's at the almost his breaking point here, and he still won't break, what's it going to be like when it happens in Crisis? What's Crisis going to do to him, right? That'll be quite interesting to see as to where things go. to see how things continue on there. So all in all, I'm excited to see where things go with this. I guess Tobias is going to get some powers from Lynn. It's not clear if she's got she had time to give him the powers, because he asked for it and she was kind of thinking about it. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he doesn't get these powers, because he would be interesting with powers, but at the same time I just feel like I've seen the character a little kind of before. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm really not too excited with the whole Tobias storyline, just because I feel like I've seen the same kind of idea. Now, if you give him a ton of different powers and he becomes a completely different character, sure. But we'll have to wait and see as to where things go. And I'm glad that we also get the reveal that Nyssa, is able to finally recognize Khalil as she's fighting him when the glasses break and stuff, and he takes them off, and then she does her super clap type thing and kind of launches him out, and nobody sees him, and he's just gone. Isn't there like a bunch of people there? I was surprised that nobody, when he got up and his face was revealed as Khalil, and he was all over, like he would be a celebrity, somewhat, recognizable face that everyone in the town would recognize from all the destruction he's done as back in the school, and since he was, very popular kid in school, and all that stuff. So everyone would recognize his face, especially after he died and stuff. So surprised that nobody, as he got up, nobody took any cell phone photos of him or video, of him. And I'm like, oh my God, Khalil's alive, and it's not just out there now. Because they have been allowing media within town, just not going outside of it. So it seems to me, it would only be a matter of like a couple of hours, and Jennifer would see it all over the social media or whatever that Khalil is alive type thing. So we'll have to wait and see where things go, but they never really explained that very well, that storyline. But well, who knows? We'll have to wait and see how things kind of continue on. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 3, Episode 8. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Okay, Kyle has a YouTube channel called Kyle Reviewed. It's about Marvel and DC. I happen to know a little bit about DC since my initials are DC. All right, so if you like Kyle's interviews and videos and reviews and everything like that, then like and subscribe. If you don't like them, well, maybe you're just not a comic book fan.